Hi, it's John and welcome to Cycling on a Shoestring. I'm on the Bow Valley Parkway just outside Lake Louise in Alberta. Going to do a review today of the Coospo BC 200 Pro, and I took a close look at this back in my studio in Calgary. Let's take a look at that right now. Let's take a preliminary look at the computer, then we'll look at what it actually can do, and I'll show you some of the functions on it close up in just a moment. Here's the box, and I'm not going to do a proper unboxing of this. I've got the computer out of here right now. There's some information on the side of this telling you what it can do. It's got Ant Plus, it's got Bluetooth, there is an app which I'll show you as well, and you can ride it in the rain, basically information like that. But again, I'm going to look at this computer a little closer, not going to get too into the weeds for you, but show you what it can do. But the reason I wanted to do this is because there's a couple of bonuses in the box which I think are kind of nice, which I'll get to in just a moment. Here is the computer itself. It's got the protective plastic on there, which I stuck back on because I've already gone for a ride on it because I wanted to get an idea of what it was about before I actually did the start of this video. So we'll take that off right now, and there is the computer itself. Now, as things go, it's a pretty light computer. I would say it's lighter than this Garmin right here. How does it feel? Feels plasticky, but not cheap. And there you've got your mount on the back for it, a couple of buttons on this side, which I'll show you in just a moment. And up against the Garmin, here's the difference in size. Maybe a little wider. The Garmin may be just a touch longer, but overall not much bigger than this Garmin right here. Now, the thing about the Garmin is if you have a map on it, it is colored, and you can do some rudimentary routing of rides on this computer, which I'll show you in a moment. Not going to get too much into it, but I'll show you and tell you a little bit about that. But overall, it's about the same size as this Garmin 800 computer. Now, in the box, a couple of extra bonuses, and that's why I wanted to do this. I mean, first of all, you've got what you would expect, a little mount that you can put on with these little rubber rings on your bar, which most bike computers come with, okay? But this one also comes with something a little bit special. It comes with an out front bar mount, which I think is a great bonus. I think this is awesome that this is in the package. It also comes with these little rubber grommets that fit in the little hole here if you've got smaller bars on your bike. So you've got a couple of different sizes there that you can use. So it will fit pretty much any bar size if you want to put it on. But that is a terrific little bonus, and I never expected it. And it pops on just as you might imagine, snaps on there nicely, and there you go. There's your bike computer on there, and it's for your out front mount, so you can take some of the clutter off your handlebars. Now, I do have some advice for the people at Coospo. Let me take this one off here, and when I got the computer, I'm thinking, oh goodness, I'm going to have to switch out another bar mount, and I know it only takes a couple of minutes to do that, but I didn't want to do it. I've already got another bar mount on my bike, which has a connection for a GoPro camera, which I've done a review for right here on this channel. I thought I'm going to have to get rid of that so I can put this mount on it, but no, I don't. Here's my Garmin computer, and I can put my Garmin computer onto the same mount. It snaps on nicely, so they're interchangeable. So you can put the Coospo on your Garmin mount, you can put your Garmin on the Coospo mount. They're exactly the same, so well done. So my advice to Coospo is, why don't you tell people that on your website? I think that's a selling point. If you've already got a Garmin mount on your bike, the Coospo will fix it as well. So that is an awesome thing there. Now, something else it comes with that I thought was worth talking about, you get these little wipes, and they have a screen protector for it as well. So I think that's a great bonus. Haven't put it on yet. I'm going to put that on before I go on my next ride. And it's funny because on all my Garmin computers, I've had them over the years. I don't know that you can see it there, but I put screen protectors on there. With the Garmin, there was a problem with glare, and the screen protector helped a little bit when I was out on sunny days. So that's what comes in the box. Of course, you get your little mini USB plug-in so you can charge it up as well. And they even included a little Allen wrench so you can put this on your handlebars. So overall, it's a nice little package with some bonuses. I'm going to give it a close-up look right now. We'll see what this thing can do. Then we'll take it for a ride on Cycling on a Shoestring. Got a number of buttons, got two buttons on either side of this unit. Over here is the power button, okay, but it also doubles up as a scrolling button. So you've got scroll up, scroll down on this side. This is not a touch screen. You have to use the buttons to get through the menus on this. On this side, basically, this is the home button, and right here, this is the enter button, and I'll show you how that works in just a moment. Hopefully, I can keep the focus on this because it can be a little bit tough with my hand in the picture all the time. We'll turn it on and it comes on really fast, and there you go. That's what it looks like. It's a black and white screen. It does have a night light on it so that while you're out at night, you're not going to get the brightness. It's sort of reversed what you see right now. All the buttons that are light colored will be dark. The dark ones will be light at nighttime. Okay, so that will change automatically. And as you can see, you've got a number of different things in your menu here. The cycling one is the one you would use to start your ride. So basically you're on cycling, you hit this button, which is the enter button, and you would go into the cycling mode and you would do your ride and you would stop it in the same way. And again, over here on the side, you've got these buttons which scroll, and we'll scroll through, and you can see you've got navigate, and I'm going to hit the enter button up here, and it shows you a ride that I've put in there, okay? And that is Calgary to Chestermere, which is a ride I do quite often here. I'll hit enter again, and it says loading. So it will load it up. Now it does have some rudimentary routing on this so you can follow the ride. I'm going to test this out later. I haven't done it, but that basically what it looks at. This is not a map, okay? I'm going to see what it looks like when I go on this ride outside, and we'll get a better idea of what it's about. But I did this ride the other day, and I uploaded that file to this computer. Now, I tried the 3 different types of files. Now, there are FIT files, there are GPX files, and there are TCX files, and the one that seemed to work was the GPX file. So that's what's on there right now. I'll scroll through again. You go over here to your bike. You can enter 3 different bikes in there. I'm not going to get into all the details, but it's got weight and things like that on it. As far as your bikes, you can name them as well. Go back home with the button on the right side over here. Scroll down. Then you've got your user information. This is the enter button. User information in there. So that's me. I'm a male. I'm 57. There's my weight and there's my height as well. We hit this button here again. It takes you home. Okay, we can go over here to sensor. Now, if you're wondering what that is, let's just click on that right now. We'll click on this button here, and this is for your different bikes. Okay, so I've got sensors for bike 1 on, and you can put heart rate monitors on here, cadence, speed and cadence, power meters, all that stuff. And I do have a cadence on my bike, so we'll see how that works. Let me make sure we're getting back here straight, getting a little bit crooked, but that's what that does. Now you hit the home button a number of times, it'll take you back to the main screen. We can scroll down. Again, these buttons on this side over here scroll. You can show the history of what's going on, and that's a ride that I did the other day. Now we can enter that, and it will load up the information, and it will give you the details on it as well. So you can go back and you can see everything that was involved on that ride. How long it took you, the distance you went, heart rate if you've got that on there. There's my average speed, my maximum speed. I rode this the other day on my recumbent bicycle, and if you scroll down, I believe there's one more page on here, and there you go. There's more information on there as well, elevation, gain, loss, and all of that. So again, hit this button here, it'll take us back to the home screen, and then we can scroll down again. Now you've got the sync here, okay? What we'll do is we'll hit enter, and then you can hook it up to your computer. You can see it says USB connect there, and it also says Bluetooth, BLE connect, which will hook it up to the app, which I'm going to show you in just a moment as well. And then we'll go over, we've got a couple more pages here. It's got a number of different GPS on it. Let's go down here and we'll enter, and it'll show you the different types of GPS that it works with. What I noticed the other day when I tried it for the first time, it really connected fast to the GPS. I've waited out there. I've got a Garmin 500 as well. It was really slow, and it is really slow connecting to satellites sometimes, which can be a little bit annoying. We'll go back to the home page, and then over here you've got your settings page where you've got all kinds of different information on the computer. So let's enter this, and as you can see, this allows you to configure the different pages on the computer. And if you look here, you've got up to 5 different pages, and you can put 9 things on each page. I like to have about 5, and I use 3 pages. So as you can see, I've got data page 1, 2, and 3 on. Okay, so that allows me to go through 3 different pages of information with all that different stuff you want on your bike. And I'm going to show that to you in just a moment as well. Display configuration. This allows you to put it on a manual switch, so you can switch through the pages yourself, or it will rotate through them like continuously while you're out on your bike through the 3 different pages you've got. And then you can go down here to navigation. We'll enter into navigation, and that will show you basically when you're riding it with the routing on it, it will show you speed and distance on the page while you're doing that as well. I'm going to test that out as well. Now, there is something about this that I would change if I were Coospo as well, and I like to be helpful to the companies when we're doing reviews on these things. The buttons. the buttons are a little bit small. Let me just turn it to the side here. You'll see here, you can see how small the buttons are. Very small buttons, and they're a little bit touchy when it comes to using them. All right. When I'm out on the road, I'm trying to change the pages. If I want to change the pages on it, they're a little bit hard to push. And just think about it this way as well. If I'm riding with gloves on, those buttons are awful tiny. Make them bigger. That would be another bit of advice I've got for you, Coospo. If you do make a new one, bigger buttons, easier to push. As a matter of fact, if you could put some of the buttons down here in the front so you can grip it like this and push them, makes it much easier. Just a little bit of advice, but change the buttons. So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what this thing does when it comes to the app. And I've already done a video on this. I hooked the computer up to the Coospo app, which you can get and you can use in conjunction with the computer. So let's take a look at that now. So go over to the Apple Store or go to the Google Play Store where I got this app, and it says Coospo Ride. We'll click on the app and it will open it up. And I'm not going to let it run in the background all the time, so I'm going to deny that. And it shows you the latest activities, which I have. And there's none. But I have one on the computer. I'm going to show you how I can transfer that right from the computer over to my phone. As you can see, it says disconnected up there in the top right corner. So you go to the computer, go to the sync page, and then scroll down to BLE Connect, which is Bluetooth. And I'm going to click on it right now. And it says connecting on the computer. Now it says connected. And as you can see, it's connected in the top corner up there, and we'll just click on that, and it shows you the ride that's currently on my bike computer, but I haven't uploaded it currently to my phone. So what I do is I click on that, it says synced, I click on the little cloud, and now if I go back over to the activities page, there's a ride I did the other day, and I can just click on that, and it'll bring up basically Google Map, and that shows you the ride I did on my recumbent the other day. You can get some information about that ride. For instance, I go over to chart, shows you speed, shows you altitude, shows you slope. Not a big thing. I'd change that to grade basically on the app. That's basically what cyclists call it, the grade, and it shows you the temperature on the ride there as well. I can go over to data as well, and then you get a long list of different information on this ride. It also, if you've got a heart rate monitor, that will work. Don't have cadence on my recumbent. I do have it on my other bike, so I'm going to sync that up. We'll show you how that works in a little bit. If you've got a power meter, it's there as well. Shows your information regarding climbs, altitude, again, slope, temperature, and how many calories you burned on the ride as well. So you've got all that as well. I click over to the riding page. You can use this right here to start up the computer as well. And if you go over to more, you have more information regarding what you can do with the computer. You've got sensors, and it shows you heart rate, speed, cadence, both speed and cadence, and a power meter. And you can sync it up with Strava as well. I'm not going to authorize it right now. And then you've got other information, what language you want it in. I've got it in English. It comes in these different languages as well. And then I'm using kilometers and kilograms for my weight. So it'll do quite a bit on here and keep track of all your rides and give you all the information you need. Here I am out in my garage, and you can see the Coospo unit on the front of my bike right there, and I've got a GoPro camera perched above it, so hopefully we can keep an eye on the bike computer, the GPS, while I'm riding. I'm going to go on a ride I did way back in March. All right, may not finish the whole ride today, but we'll show you how it works, how the cadence works as well, and we'll show you how to upload it to the Coospo app and give you a final review on this as we finish up this review on cycling on a shoestring. I'd like to thank Coospo as well. They sent this to me, and you can see it down here, hopefully, underneath the pedal right there. It says Coospo. That is a cadence and a speed meter, okay? If you put it on your crankset, it's cadence. If you put it on your hub, on your wheel, it is speed. They also sell power meters and heart rate monitors on their website. So again, thanks to Coospo for sending that to me. I do actually have a cadence setup on this bike already built in, but it's not working. It's pretty darn old. So I'm going to use that as my cadence today, and we'll see how that matches up with the GPS as well. So let's take it out for a ride, and we'll give it a try. I'm on my bike, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it up to navigate. So I'm going to go up here to navigate, hit enter, and there's the Calgary to Chestermere ride I did, back in March. Now, if I remember correctly,
When I did this ride, there was a detour out there I had to go around. So I'm going to go to that spot and we'll see if it tells me if I'm off course or not. Because if you've ever ridden with navigation on a GPS, it'll tell you when you're off course and you get back on. So I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to hit loading. And now it's loading up the ride. And there it is right there. Now I can just go to go. And it's calculating the ride for me. And it's telling me I go in 3, 2, 1. And you can see what the map looks like here. Now you can scroll around a little bit on this. You can go back to your main screen there, or you can go back to the route. And using the buttons on the right side, you can zoom in, or you can zoom out. So you go around in a circle basically, and it will change how far zoomed out or in you are of that particular ride. So I'm going to zoom back in. It's at 250 meters right now. I'm at 100 meters for my ride, and you can change that using the buttons on the right side of the computer. So I'm going to be riding through some gravel. I'll turn it off and I'll show you what it looks like when I get out onto a smoother road. Just cruising along slowly on the road right now. You can see the cadence is working just fine on there, doing 21 right now. Switch it over to the routing part. Let's go over there. And there it is. And you can see I'm heading down the road. And it's telling me I need to go east. And I am going east. I have a curve coming up in the road in front of me here. I'm just following along. And once I get a little bit farther on, I'll show you how it gives you directions and where to go while you're riding. So I remember back in the spring when I did this ride, they were doing work on the bike path through here, and you couldn't go right. So I'm going to see if the computer, the GPS, the Coospo will tell me I'm off course if I go right, because I know I went left here. It's telling me to go east. Maybe I'm mistaken. I think I may have gone all the way up here and had to turn around. So let's find out. I wasn't mistaken, but it was a little farther on. As you can see, the Coospo now says I'm off course. So I'm going to continue along here, and I'll turn it back on, the camera. Once I get to the spot, I know I got back on course. So you can see on the computer, I'm still off course. I'm going to meet up with those two black lines on there. And I'm back on course. It says go north. And I'm going to be heading north. So there you go. I'm back at my house in my shop right now, and I didn't shoot any more footage out on the road with the Coospo GPS because it was just way too windy, really windy, and it started to rain as well. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to sync up the computer with my phone and the Coospo app, and we'll upload the video to the Coospo app, and we'll see if it syncs automatically with Strava, and then we'll wrap up this video. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go down to the sync. I'm going to open up the app on my phone, and you can see in the top right hand corner it says disconnected right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down, or I'm going to scroll back to sync, because I can push up here and go across to sync. Go over here, go to Bluetooth connect, and then hit enter, and you should see it connecting on the phone. And there it is connected. So up on the top there you can see the little arrow just to the right of connected. We'll click on that, and you can see it says not synced. There's two rides there. The one on the top, which is 9:23,
2022-923 is today's ride, but as you can see, it says it's not synced. So I'll click on synced right there with a little arrow or with a little check mark, and then I'm going to click on the cloud, and it should upload that activity.
So now I'll go over to Strava and we'll check to see if the ride is there. And there's the afternoon ride right there, and it says Coospo Ride app, and that is the ride I did today. So worked just fine, synced up perfectly, and as you can see, it's got all the information on there you would normally find on your Strava app. So fantastic, works really great, and really pleased with the way that the Coospo app works with my phone and works when it comes to syncing directly up with the bike computer itself, the GPS.
Well, there you go, the Coospo BC200 Pro. How much is it? Well, right now they haven't got a price on this because this is the latest model. I can tell you that the BC200, not the Pro model, is $97 Canadian. So I'm going to make a guess at this, that this is going to be probably a sub $125 computer when it's done, which is a good price for a GPS. Who is this GPS for? Well, for people like me, I've used this a lot and I really like this bike computer. Works great, does everything I want, follows along with my cadence. If you want to get power meters, you can do that. It's got a speed meter, it's got a heart rate monitor. You can buy the strap for that so you can use it on the bike. It tracks my speed, it tracks my distance, my average speed, my average cadence, and dozens of other things on this little computer. I like it a lot. I think it's easy to see, works great at night when it switches into that nighttime mode. It's got an auto pause on it, which is something that's good to know. Battery lasts about 30 hours, so you're not going to have to worry about the battery dying out when you're riding on it. You'll get a lot of rides in on this before you have to charge it up. And it's for somebody who right now is still plugging their old bike computer into their PC to upload their rides. You can do this directly through the Coospo app. So that's a really great thing. And of course, if you're cycling on a shoestring budget, this is a computer for you. I like it a lot. And again, the only beef I have with this are those buttons. They're a little bit hard to push, particularly when you're out on your bike. Better buttons would make it better. Maybe a little bit of a change when it comes to the way they have designed this, but overall it's a pretty good bike computer, and I think it's a pretty decent price if you're cycling on a shoestring budget. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, I'm on Twitter and Instagram. Also, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and ring that bell for notifications. See you next time on Cycling on a Shoestring. We're going to